The market has dropped very low, and there is definitely a debate to be had that Bitcoin should be ready to reverse up. And you guys know my thoughts on this, right? Like, broadly speaking, I think Bitcoin is right now in a very good position to start buying. Honestly, it makes total sense to me. One of the main arguments that I've made is, Bitcoin has dropped by about 40%. Now, just a touch more, but this is such a standard correction for Bitcoin that it drops by about 40% in a bull market, and then it continues rallying up. And it's also just the fact that we haven't had a real retracement. The biggest retracement that we had was right here, which I was calling for on the YouTube channel. So shout out to those of you who were subscribed and hitting up the likes on those videos. I was calling for a nice rally here, and this was the biggest rally we got at plus 14%, but still no meaningful push to the upside. And the thing is, ladies and gents, is when the market is in a bear market like what happened here in 2019 leading into 2020, we still get nice reversals, right? Take a look at this. Now, this one was a little bit manipulated, but this was still a 40% pump to the upside. Right here, we managed to find a 63% pump to the upside. We're still in, broadly speaking, a bear market between these two vertical lines right here, but we get significant meaningful reaction rallies to the upside before continuing on downwards. It's just what's normal, and the fact of the matter is that we haven't had that yet. So take a look at the fear and greed index, and everyone and their nan is talking about this right now. This is what has me really concerned. We are in extreme fear right now in this market with a reading of 10, and I want to highlight something to you which is very, very important, which is just when the market was previously at levels right like this, right? Like, if we look at this, the last time the market had a reading of 10, I mean, we didn't even achieve it on any of these recent drops. The last time that the market had a reading of 10 or similar was back on the 21st of July 2021, and it was actually during this whole range. I'm just going to drop two vertical lines, one between the 16th of May and the second on the 21st of July. And guys, just take a look at what happens between these two levels. So 21st of July is right here, and what was the second day? I think it was something of May. Let's just say 14th of May. This was roughly when the crash really initiated. And take a look at this price range right here. Now, this is really, really important, guys. Pay a lot of attention to this one, because you're going to see why I'm pointing this out to you right now. The fear and greed index was showing us very, very low readings until on this day it fell down to 10. It fell down to 10 on multiple other days in this range, and for the most part, the price didn't drop down by much. It's just that people were really, really fearful. That alone is something that I want us to acknowledge. You guys know that one of the key metrics I've been using in this market to gauge how I feel about it is where is the fear and greed index. It is indeed very, very useful. That's why I use it. However, it's not just something that you blindly rely on. A lot of people fall into this trap when they feel like they need to compensate for their poor normal fundamental and normal technical analysis skills. They feel like they need to compensate for it by just going all in on one indicator that looks slightly good, right? Like, this is the guy that sees this. He hasn't had much action. He sees this one woman. She gives him a little bit of attention, and he is head over heels for her. I'm sorry to break it to you, ladies and gents, and primarily gents. Most of you guys watching this video right now do exactly that. You find one indicator, one tool that you think works really well, and you just stick to it because you don't know anything else. And look, I love to keep my trading style simple. Don't get me wrong. These videos are very, very straightforward. I'm just spitting straight facts on this channel, and you guys know the deal. Smash up the likes and subscribe if you do appreciate that. But at the very same time, you never, ever, ever see me base everything off one indicator. And that is very important, because while the fear and greed index is effectively at the lowest point we have really ever seen it in the past year, it doesn't mean the price immediately reverses up, right? We fell to a reading of 10 on the 24th of May. Let's take a look at what happened right there. This is the 24th of May. It was on this dump right here. It would have been for the price action of the day before. That's where we got the reading of 10. Yes, we did get a small rally, but we ended up falling back down and in fact sweeping that low on multiple occasions. And so a reading of 10 doesn't immediately mean that we're fine. But what it does mean is that, we now have these puzzle pieces in place, right? Like, there's quite a few puzzle pieces that need to be in place in order for the market to shoot back up. And this is one of the most essential ones, is that people start losing faith faith in the market. Now, remember what I said about this dagger analogy, right? Those of you who watch this channel regularly will know that I like to use analogies just to make things very clear. And, one of the analogies I like to make in bear markets like this is that Bitcoin will hurt you by dropping, and it will drop down quite low. This range was definitely quite bad, and then it's like stabbing you, and then it will twist that dagger even more. It will rub salt on that wound even more by just trading sideways. And that is, pardon me, exactly what happened in this market between the months of May and July. Bitcoin was doing exactly that. It was slowly trending downwards, hurting people a lot just by twisting that dagger of time. And then, of course, the market was ready to recover. Now, the reason I'm bringing all of this up to you is, again, like a lot of people are paying attention to, and rightfully so, because I think it's a very reliable tool, the Fear and Greed Index. A lot of people are paying attention to what this is saying, but not enough people are just questioning the other side. Now, that's what I'm trying to do here. I still overwhelmingly feel like the market is bullish, and this is one of the best times in this entire market cycle, in my opinion, to buy Bitcoin. And I'm going out on the record to say that, like if I had more funds to buy Bitcoin right now, and unfortunately I don't because I'm pretty much all in, but if I had more funds to buy Bitcoin, I would buy it right now. I think it's a phenomenal price level. It's at a great area of support. It's dropped down by 40%. So what if it drops down even by another 30%? This is a good area to buy Bitcoin, and that is the end of it, in my opinion. Just because it might not work out doesn't mean it's a bad area. One of the key things I need to make a little bit of a rant on this point right here, because people just don't get this, is that, if you've exercised really strong, good decision-making processes and you're wrong, it doesn't matter. As long as at the end of the day, you can confidently say to yourself, I wouldn't have wanted to be on the opposite side of those trades, you're in the good. You're right. You've done everything you needed to do correctly. You put it out there. There's nothing more you could have done. Whether you win or lose doesn't matter beyond that point, as long as you can confidently say, after the trades have been executed, that you were happy with your decision-making process, you did everything the way you should have, and you wouldn't have wanted to be on the opposite side of those trades. As long as you can say that, honestly, I don't care whether you made money or not. You followed a good process, and the fact of the matter is, ladies and gents, most of the time that is going to work out. That's just how trading works. And if you want to see how that actually works in the real markets, bam, follow these steps on screen. In the crypto market, whatever I'm trading, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing, where I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, why I've chosen certain levels, and so on. You're going to get information where I'm teaching you exactly how to trade and analyze the way I do, from A to Z. Absolute beginners, experienced traders, we've got it all for all of those skill levels right here when you follow these steps on screen to join 𝗪𝗪's VIP. It's the first link in the description down below. Then this is going to take you to our free Telegram channel where you get even more free analysis from myself and my team. And again, I'm just curious where we are at with that group, just hovering around 20.5k members. So if you do want to get in, you know exactly what to do. It's that first link in the description. Click on my name and ask me how to join VIP, and we will get you into what could be a potentially life-changing program, as it has been for many others. And bringing it back to the markets right here, that is a very important thing I want to mention, right? Is that even if Bitcoin drops down to 30k, this is still a good level to buy. Even if Bitcoin completely crashes down to fucking $10,000 and it dies and it falls down to $1, this is still a good area to buy Bitcoin, in my opinion, judging by the things that I know about the market. Because we're down by 40%, which is a fairly standard correction, we're still in an overwhelmingly bullish market in the long term. I just want to remind you guys of what this chart looks like in the long term, because I know that a lot of people are losing perspective on this, but this market in the long term is moving really well. If you just remove all of these lines, like, it's really not looking that bad at all, in my opinion. It's so controlled, it's so slow. And that in itself is a big reason for why I think we're going to continue rising up. And obviously many more reasons, including, of course, what's going on with politics in the world. So quite a few reasons that I think Bitcoin is still strong, but at the same time, bloody hell, it's taken me 9 minutes to get here. I want to show this chart to you. Now, I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was on Twitter. Most likely it was on Twitter. And this is a chart illustrating, just hide my camera, Google Trends data for the search term BTFD. And if you don't know what this means, this search term essentially means buy the fucking dip. That's what BTFD means. Not essentially, it's exactly what it means. It's just a term in crypto. You guys know the deal. A lot of people use very crude language at times. I mean, people call big candles like this, they call them dildos and stuff like that. It's just what people in the crypto market do. So buy the fucking dip, if you didn't already know, is a big term in the space saying buy the dip. And here's the thing that this highlights is, see, right at the end of 2017, stepping into 2018, the buy the fucking dip search trend shot up, indicating that a lot of people, just in terms of sentiment, were searching Google for stuff like that. And it's actually interesting, if you look at the line that represents 2018 right here, it's hard to show you this, but if you look at this line, it's very close to the end of the year. And if you look at the time that Bitcoin peaked, it's a little bit before that. Isn't it interesting that people are trying to buy the dip right after the market topped, and they're very wrong? Just something that I wanted to point out to you. I don't like being I don't like siding with the majority. I don't like agreeing with people. I was saying this, I was out with a really good friend of mine, also a VIP member, by the way, really cool guy. And he put me on the phone with one of his friends, and we were talking about the markets. And this guy, they're both smart guys, don't get me wrong, but we were agreeing about everything we were saying. And I said to him on the phone, I was like, you know what? Like, I get it. This is cool stuff, but I don't like agreeing with everybody in the market. Like, I don't like knowing that I agree with you and your friend and I'm going to get a bunch of likes on this video. Like, don't get me wrong, the camaraderie is nice, the brotherhood aspect is nice, whatever, but I'm here to get fucking rich, and I'm not going to get rich. I'm not going to get richer by agreeing with everybody, right? Like, you only get there when you're playing the market, you're positioned early ahead of the game. And the fact is, like I said, and this the whole reason I wanted to make this video, and what I'm worried about is that there's too many people agreeing with too many things in this market right now. And I guess what I don't like about it is that it makes logical sense, so I'm even on that side right now. That's why I wanted to show you this data, because it doesn't mean that we're at the same stage right now. Like, people are generally very bullish. Like, even though, and this is the thing, is that even though the fear and greed index is so low right now, really a very low rating, even though this is the case, look at how bullish people generally are. Now, obviously, this data, isn't perhaps the most reliable, but it is, because it's not Bitcoin itself, it's the Bitcoin Trust. But nevertheless, very same point applies. I mean, we're seeing this dip. This is directly after, the new year has begun. So exactly where we are, just a week into the new year. By the way, 2022, just want to put this on your radar, is 2% complete. So that was a bit shocking for me to read. We're already 2% of the way through 2022. That scared me. I don't know about you guys, but back to the charts right here, indicating that people just generally, and it's weird because the fear and greed index, super bullish right now, telling us that absolutely everyone is scared of the market. But the buy the fucking dip search term, that's gone up a lot. And, like, sometimes it goes up a lot and it's fine, right? Like, look at this spike happened just before July. What happened just before July? Pardon me, Bitcoin bottomed out and it rallied up. But on the two big spikes that we've seen right here, even this one right here, the market continues to drop. If we look at this spike that happened just before October, the market continues to drop down into the $3,000 range, which is what this chart represents. So this is very important stuff that I wanted to put on your radar, because people are still in a lot of ways showing quite bullish signs. And the only reason really that I'm trying to show you this chart right here, let me put my camera back on. The only reason that I'm trying to show you this chart right here is to quantify a point that I'm trying to make, which is that even though it looks so clear to me that Bitcoin should be getting ready to bounce at this point, there's just too many people agreeing with that sentiment for me to be comfortable in that idea at the moment as it stands. Obviously, that can change, and like I said, I'm still standing by what I said. I still think this is a phenomenal buying range, but at the same time, just seeing how optimistic people are, like, that needs to get shaken. And that's why I'm entertaining the idea of Bitcoin potentially dropping a little bit lower into that 30K range, and why I think it's so possible. Am I trading that direction? Hell no, that is super, super risky, and I still am much more inclined to trade long positions just because this is a very, very good piece of data that counters my theory. It doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore everything else that still tells me the market is very bullish right now, just given all of the other facts. And also, if we just take a look at dominance right now as well for Bitcoin, pretty clear right now, Bitcoin has been gaining a little bit of dominance. Now, I know that this doesn't seem like such a big deal, but it is up from 39.3 to 40.4%. So a 1% gain in dominance is quite a big deal when you consider the overall market cap of crypto, of the crypto market, which is extremely large. I don't even know the number off the top of my head, but it is very fucking big. Just be rest assured about that. And take a look at Ethereum, for example, the area that I was expecting Ethereum to retrace down to. I know that a lot of people didn't believe me on this, but I had this resistance line drawn from literally at least 1 year, if not multiple years ago, that I had this resistance line drawn on the Ethereum chart, and we found resistance in exactly this range between this resistance line and this resistance line, and we're now headed right back down to my target, where I would be expecting things to potentially get a little bit better for the altcoin market. Ethereum is a good example of what I'm seeing happening here, because again, when the market is scared, guys, it's really, really clear. When the market is scared, people sell Bitcoin and they sell more altcoins, right? There are exceptions. 𝗙𝗢𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗟, like I mentioned, performing really well, but it was dumping catastrophically for a long time, right? So this 20% gain that it's in today, don't get me wrong, it's nice, but a 20% gain after how much of a loss, you know what I mean? Like, and by the way, the reason I'm bringing this up is that this is a project that I am working with. I actually personally invested in it myself. It is like a hybrid between a bunch of different platform tokens like Ethereum and Cardano. They're essentially trying to solve multiple different problems that multiple tokens are facing. So I definitely think it's going to be a big thing. I just think that this is a lagging thing, and that's why I'm keeping an eye on it. The bounce is nice. If you're curious where it's trading, I know you can't see the price. It's at 8 cents. It opened up at 15 cents, pumped to 20, and bottomed out at 6.4 cents. So now being at about 8.1, I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but this is still not a good chart right now. I am very interested in it, so as it approaches potentially even lower levels or just forms some sort of chart patterns, I'll tell you guys what I'm thinking about it, because I would love to buy more. But as it stands right now, I think better prices could be coming, so I am going to be keeping an eye out on that. What else do we have here? I mean, yeah, just look across the altcoin market broadly. You can see that, you know, altcoins are losing some value against Bitcoin in the short term, and of course when we zoom out, it is abundantly clear what's been happening here as well. So the reason that I'm putting all of this on your radar, really, ladies and gents, is to just show you right now that the market is very scared. And again, when the market is scared, they sell these coins, they sell these altcoins, and the reason they do that is because if you're not making money actively in the market, you're not going to be very greedy, and if you're not going to be greedy, you're not going to want to take on additional risk. If you're not taking on additional risk, you're not going to buy altcoins. It's the same thing in reverse, right? Like, if you start becoming fearful, you're going to want to protect your capital even more, and you're going to want to take it out of risky places. And almost everybody knows that the altcoin markets are far more risky than Bitcoin. That's why they crash so hard. Even Bitcoin itself is extremely risky. People just tend to forget about that because they're desperate or whatever the reason may be. And I'm here to slap you across the fucking face, tell you to sober up and see the market for what it is. That's all I'm trying to do here. I'm here to, and obviously figuratively, right? Like, it's just to, you know, whoever needs it, to wake you up and let you see exactly what's going on here, because this market is screaming some pretty obvious things. The sentiment is screaming some pretty obvious things in both directions, and it's all about, look, just be aware of it before you make a decision. Be fully informed, and then take it from there. Ladies and gents, resistance still catching up to Bitcoin right now. If we look at this on the 4-hour time frame, it's not quite here yet, but Bitcoin is in a little bit of a rising wedge pattern. If this continues going on over the next couple of days, we will be looking at a potential rejection from the EMA ribbon, which has been pretty brutal for Bitcoin recently, ever since we established the spread roughly around over here. And the Ichimoku cloud on the 4-hour time frame just getting bigger and bigger, getting lower and lower on the daily time frame. Very much the same point as well. This cloud is getting wider and wider. This resistance range used to span a range of about $1,200. Now it spans a range of about $3,600. $100. So a really, really big point here, showing us that the market is going to encounter some quite difficult levels of resistance if it does start rallying up. And that's the other thing that I want us to be aware of. I want to make this very clear again, like I said towards the beginning of the video, I love this buying range for Bitcoin right now, and if I could, trust me, I would buy Bitcoin right now. So I am super bullish on it. I have most of my net worth in Bitcoin still, like every other crypto YouTuber pretty much, you know, because we see what's going on, and obviously we have access to so much data and so much just general opinions in the market. You know, I'm also very, very heavy in it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to blind myself from the truth. I'm still going to be a very honest trader and a very honest analyst, and I'm going to be delivering that stuff to you. And again, ladies and gents, if you appreciate that, just do me a favor, drop a thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, if you want to get some free cash deposited into your account, it's going to support the channel. It's going to give you free money. All you got to do is make a brand new account on Bybit using my link in the description down below. It's going to take you 1 minute to make that account, and then less than a minute actually, and then make your first Bitcoin deposit in order to get that free cash. It is going to help out so much. But moving back to the markets, I mean, like I was saying, this stuff is very important because it allows us to you know, see the market with a sober perspective. Even though I'm so incentivized that Bitcoin might rise up, I still need to be abundantly aware of all of the risks that can come up so that I can adequately prepare myself for it and be sensible, be a responsible trader, and respect my money. Let's take a quick look at Lux Algo and see how that's looking as well. I'm not expecting any updates for Lux Algo at the moment. It's been bearish and stayed bearish for so long, which in itself is important. Oh, there is a take profit signal that just came up on the 4-hour time frame, so that is interesting. These are generally pretty reliable in my opinion, showing you where, look at that, it even have, I mean, this one was pretty useless to be honest, because the market had already pumped up by quite a lot. But you know, definitely a good one right here, indicating that, you know, we could be looking at a potential you know, area, you know, if you are in short positions, to just look to take profits, which I think is completely reasonable. I don't really want to look at the 1 hour, but let's just take a quick glance and see what the 1 hour time frame is showing us. Yeah, it's not showing us anything particularly useful in my opinion right there. And so there you are. That's what I'm seeing in the markets right now. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you want to check out Lux Algo, it's linked in the description. If you want free money from Bybit from me as a gift, as a thank you, then go ahead in the description down below, use the link down there to sign up to Bybit and get up to $4,100 completely free of charge. If you want to watch me trading in real time and get access to every single detail down to the exact dollar that I'm entering my positions and the full reasoning behind why I've done it, how I've adjusted my strategy, and how I'm tackling the market in real time in front of you, then these are the steps to join 𝗪𝗪's VIP. Bam, first link in the description down below. This is the only way. Do not search for my name on Telegram. There are many impersonators. They're extremely convincing. Just use the links on the channel, and that applies for everything. Don't search for me on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever. Just use my links. It's the only way that you can guarantee to find my pages, and that is, yeah, with the first link in the description down below. Then click on the @𝗪𝗪s button at the bottom of any post inside of 𝗪𝗪s Gold, and then click on send message to ask me how to join VIP. If I'm not online, one of my assistants will get back to you within about 5 or 10 minutes. We are very quick. So I'll see you guys on the other side. If you have enjoyed this video, again, you know exactly what to do. Hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.